What's going on, everybody? Today, I want to talk about anxiety and I want to talk about identity driven anxiety. So identity driven anxiety is the kind that comes from when you're constantly questioning your self worth and you're constantly questioning your desires and your motives and your place in the world and anything that falls under that category. And this is something that I've struggled with a lot, particularly in the last 4 or 5 years. I have a big issue with being seen overall, being seen in the public eye, like making videos, being seen, in any kind of vulnerable state where how I'm perceived is uncontrolled, where I don't have a say in how other people look at me or view me, or I don't have a say over the opinions that they form of me. And the paradox that I'm discovering is that that is literally every situation that you find yourself in. You never have control over what people say or think about you. And if you try to live in a way where you are constantly controlling that and you're constantly trying to manipulate that, you're going to get nowhere. You're going to find yourself stuck, and you're going to be stuck in these anxious loops, these feedback loops that just never resolve themselves. Because what that kind of anxiety is it's a lack of ownership. And what I mean by ownership is taking responsibility for every aspect of your life, every decision that you make, every thought that you have, every plan, move, relationship that you start. You have to take responsibility for all of it, because anxiety from that is you avoiding that responsibility and thinking that there's not going to be any negative consequences. You think that you can hide these aspects of yourself that you feel need to be expressed, or you can avoid doing anything difficult that's going to cause you internal discomfort for the sake of security, but that just generates more anxiety. So you get to choose which anxiety you would rather have, Are you going to have the internal quiet kind where nothing ever gets done? Or are you going to have the kind where you put yourself out there and you take risk and you just roll the dice and see what happens? Because that anxiety comes from a lack of alignment in your thoughts and beliefs about yourself and your actions. And so when your actions and your thoughts don't line up, people can sense that sense of instability. And you know it because you feel it every single day in the form of anxiety. You don't take action when you know that you should be taking action. You say you're going to do something and then you don't do it. You build up this ego you build up your identity of this kind of person that you are, and then you don't behave in the way that aligns with that identity. And then anxiety is just a byproduct of that, So the way out of that is radical ownership, radical responsibility for everything that you do. And just see what happens when you own your decisions, Stop trying to hide every aspect of yourself. Stop trying to control every single micro aspect of your life, because it paralyzes you. It really stops you from, one, the freedom that comes with self-expression and being seen, and two, all the other rewards that come with that as well. So, and this is something that I need to tell myself, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to lecture anybody on how they should handle it, but for me in particular, I've realized that if I don't live this way, I'm going to be stuck in that same doubtful, negative headspace for the rest of my life. And I'm the only one that can bring myself out of that. And I'm the only one who can take responsibility. Because if you don't own something, you're not the boss, You're not in control. And the only way that you can be in control is by taking control of your mind and not trying to micromanage what everybody thinks of you. So yeah, that's what I've been thinking about today. Hope you guys have a blessed week, and I'll see you next time.